standing in front of a crowd of 50,000 people, and it feels completely surreal. It's like your feet are floating off the ground.
Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 things we learned in Shawn Mendes in Wonder.
I asked him if he wanted to be famous one day, and he shut the whole idea down so fast.
He only ever comes here to eat.
Not true.
I just felt like there was this real sense of love in the room that night.
For this list, we'll be looking at insights from the documentary about the star's life and career. Have you watched the Netflix original documentary yet? Let us know what you thought of it in the comments. Number 10. Shawn's manager helped build his confidence.
I think I heard A Great Big World Say Something for the first time and was like, wow, that's a really great song. Googled it, and one of the first search results was Shawn's cover of the song.
After Shawn's breathtaking cover of Say Something caught his now manager Andrew Gertler's attention, a beautiful partnership was born.
And I was just taken aback of it. It was like, this is really incredible.
But not before Mendes made sure to ask plenty of questions, since a decision like this was not one he took lightly.
Reached out and we FaceTimed Shawn and his mom. Immediately, Shawn just starts grilling us with questions about how the music business works, why he might need a manager.
It sounds like he made the right choice in hiring him, though, since Shawn credits Gertler for helping him become more self-assured. The singer makes standing on a stage with just a guitar and his voice seem effortless because of the ease with which he does it. But it turns out that at first, he insisted he needed a band because he lacked self-esteem.
I would always say to him, I need to get a band because I'm gonna sound bad on my own. And he's like, no man, just get on the stage, just you and the guitar. Having the confidence was all based off of those first couple of years of performing with just a guitar.
It was Andrew who insisted he play alone and acoustically, which taught him to trust his talent. Thank goodness he did.
I went from a small bedroom in Pickering to playing in front of a few thousand people in a couple years.
Number 9. He has a strong support system.
As a kid, when you look at someone and you're like, this is my dream, and someone goes, that's a stupid dream, you'd be like, oh yeah, it is a stupid dream.
Deciding at a young age that music is something you want to pursue professionally is not for the faint of heart. There's no telling how the people around you will react. Luckily, Mendes reveals that he received plenty of support from family, friends, and even his voice teacher, Miss Parker. At one point, he recalls the good advice his father gave him about becoming a songwriter, essentially to just go write songs.
I said, I want to be a songwriter, and he goes, well, can you write songs? And I was like, well, I don't know. And he goes, go write a song.
It was such an impactful lesson that he actually passed it down to a fan who had similar aspirations.
Stop sitting here thinking about it. You are a songwriter. Now go write songs.
Because those closest to Mendes encouraged his dreams and nurtured his talent, he was given the space to thrive and succeed.
My parents, my friends, nobody for 1 second looked at me and said, you're crazy. Everybody was like, go for it.
Number 8. The importance of his friendships.
I'm probably closer with my friends from home now than ever. They were all supporting me from the first time Life of the Party came out, and now we're here together.
You might wonder if a pop star as famous as Shawn Mendes keeps in touch with old friends. Well, we learn in the documentary that he does more than just that.
I'm actually nervous. Yeah, I feel anxious to go home right now. 3.5 months, I think.
In fact, his childhood friend Brian Cragen can often be seen on the road with him. Mendes describes him as a crucial part of his support system that keeps him sane and grounded.
I'm so lucky to have a friend like Brian. He works hard at keeping me in the real world.
And the star hasn't forgotten about the rest of his buddies back home either. He actually describes feeling closer to them now than ever before, because they've been with him since the beginning. While he is the one receiving all the glory and attention, he shares the credit with those who helped him get where he is today.
I want them to look around and be proud of it. And be like, this is just as much ours as it is his. Look, guys, we made it. How beautiful is this?
Number 7. His mindset for his new album.
Touch you, tease, caress you, and please you. Teach me how to love.
Throughout the documentary, fans get a special glimpse of Shawn working on his upcoming album, Wonder. And while there's no question that it'll be just as amazing as all his others, there's something a bit different about how he approached the process this time around. He describes his mindset for this album as being more positive and focused on love.
Something about that feeling, that all around overdose of love.
He reveals that he's taken a more laid-back approach, where he welcomes imperfection instead of fighting it.
You have to not only accept imperfection, but embrace imperfection, because that imperfection in that moment is what turns into magic in the next.
Plus, we get to see a bit of the actual process behind the creation of the songs, from Mendes working on lyrics to him getting in the booth to record. One thing's for sure, seeing these moments only increased our excitement for the record.
The heaviness of the tour in a lot of ways made me want to flip things around and become more positive, you know?
Number 6, he craves normalcy.
The half of me is right now being like, make sure you say you're grateful, because I am.
It's no secret that Mendes' life is anything but ordinary in a lot of ways. After all, most of us don't go on huge tours to perform for many thousands of adoring fans. But while a lot of his lifestyle might be difficult to understand for someone outside the industry, Mendes proves that he's just a normal guy. In an extremely touching and relatable moment, he reveals that while he loves what he does, he can't help but miss the small, simple things he doesn't get to do.
At the same time, I just want to hang with my parents and watch movies.
He also shares that he's been afraid to vocalize that feeling for fear that people will stop caring about him.
Oh, if I tell the world that I'm just a normal human, are they gonna stop coming to the shows and listening to the music, and is all the craziness gonna stop?
We think it's safe to say there's no danger of that happening anytime soon. Number 5, he hated the idea of being famous.
Oh, you had the first day of school today.
Yeah.
That's why you're in your outfit.
Yeah, I just like wearing this on.
I know, I just didn't think about it.
We learn a lot about who Mendes is as a person when he goes back to Ontario, Canada. His connection to his roots in Pickering becomes increasingly clear as he reminisces about the field where he used to hang out with friends and raids his parents' kitchen for food.
He only ever comes here to eat.
Not true.
From watching him interact with his family to seeing his childhood bedroom, fans get an intimate look at where Mendes grew up.
This is the room I recorded all the vines and stuff in.
We even find out that he once told his younger sister Aaliyah that he hated the idea of being famous when she asked him about it.
I asked him if he wanted to be famous one day, and he shut the whole idea down so fast.
He apparently said it sounded, quote, awful. Mendes himself has no memory of this, but his little sis remembers it like it was yesterday. Clearly, life had other plans.
Yeah, you were like, no, I would never want to be famous, that lifestyle.
Oh yeah.
I remember you saying that.
Number 4, manifesting his sold-out Rogers Center show.
Canadian love right there.
What makes a show extra special? Is it the size of the stadium or the amount of people there? Well, for Mendes, it's something entirely different. While it doesn't hurt that the Rogers Center is one of Canada's premier concert venues, that's not the only reason why he anticipated his sold-out show there. We learn that he's wanted to play there ever since he began pursuing music.
I think Rogers Center was always a goal of mine. Because when I started playing music, I would drive by it every day. I would say, I'm gonna play there one day.
He even put it in his manifestation journal, where he repeatedly writes down positive thoughts.
This was 2 weeks before we put Rogers Center on sale, November 24th, 2018. I wrote, here we go. I will sell at the Rogers Center.
And this is specifically because there's so much extra love for him in Toronto, with friends, family, and acquaintances supporting him. He describes the feeling as nerve-wracking but magical, and we're sure the audience felt the same way.
You're standing in front of a crowd of 50,000 people, and it feels completely surreal. It's like your feet are floating off the ground.
Number 3, Shawn and Camila's love story.
Camila? She was in Fifth Harmony and we were both opening. My very first tour ever.
Ever since these two went public with their relationship, fans have wanted to know more. Luckily, Mendes and Cabello give fans insight into their story here. They met when Fifth Harmony and Shawn were both opening a show. But while Cabello admits she found him cute even then, they barely spoke.
He was so super hyper focused on what he was doing. I never saw him that whole tour.
Then, a friendship started to blossom backstage at a Taylor Swift show when they began collaborating on a song.
We were backstage at this Taylor Swift show. I went to his dressing room to say hi. And we started writing this song.
They didn't know what to make of their mutual attraction, but they did form a strong bond.
I really liked him. I guess he liked me, but I don't really know.
Naturally, this progressed, and as they got older, Camila was born. In fact, Shawn reveals that they began living in an apartment alone together for the first time, and he calls the experience a refreshingly normal one.
Camila and I are staying in an apartment in New York City for the very first time alone. And making eggs and trying to figure out how to use a Keurig. Normal things, you know?
Number 2, his muse.
She was always there to look out for me as a human being. She's got my back, and I think that's what your partner's for.
It turns out that Camila Cabello has been Shawn Mendes' inspiration for a while. In fact, she's the subject of most of his songs, even the ones he wrote long before they started dating. Funnily enough, she had no idea.
Like, they're all about you. Like, every song I've ever wrote. And I'm like rhyming off the songs. I'm like, treat you better, like all these songs. And she's like, oh my God. She's literally had no idea.
He goes on to make an extremely sweet analogy to describe how their love is bigger than words.
But I think it's like when you see a moon or stars and you try and take a photo of it with your iPhone, and then you just can't. It just doesn't look good. And you're like, it's not supposed to be captured.
While he doesn't feel like he can articulate it in a way that does it justice, viewers certainly get a glimpse of the couple's sweet dynamic by watching them interact throughout the documentary.
I wish I could pretend I didn't need you, but every touch is ooh la la la.
It's evident how much they care for each other, through subtle things like a small kiss or Shawn tying Camila's shoe for her.
Is there a proper way to do this?
We gotta tie him double knot.
It's definitely touching to see.
I love you. Do you know that?
I know.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. He has ongoing voice concerns.
My voice hit its breaking point at the end of this tour, and I'm using my phone to talk.
A big theme in the documentary is Shawn's vocal health.
I'm so sorry, guys. My voice is cutting out on me so much tonight.
One of his biggest fears is that one day he won't be able to sing anymore.
I'm constantly warming up and I'm constantly checking my voice out of fear of the fact that one day I'm gonna go to sing and it's gonna just not come out.
And things did reach a breaking point in Brazil. Fans might remember he was forced to cancel his Sao Paulo show in 2019.
I don't know. It makes me very nervous.
Here, we get an inside look at what happened. Mendes isn't feeling well, but holds out on making a decision until the last minute, hoping he'll get better.
And just to be clear, both of you are saying we should cancel the show, right?
But when his vocal coach and doctor agree that he not only risks having to cut the tour short, but permanent damage to his voice, he realizes he doesn't have a choice. Visibly upset, he cancels and goes on vocal rest. But rest assured, he has no plans of slowing down anytime soon.
It's like an athlete in their prime. I have to keep going.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from MsMojo. And be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.